quickly, I'm just going to do a quick call to action. I know nobody's going to hear this probably, but maybe the right people will. So I've been after my buddy Adam to do this podcast, right? And I don't know why. It hasn't happened because I'm super unavailable all the time. Like, I'm sort of a hermit. That's number one. But number two, I think he's avoided it because I think he's worried I'll talk about his life, which this year has been a fucking remarkable. I think both of us have had 2019 has been a remarkable year for both of us. Remarkable defined by a year that's different than any other year we've lived. I'm not saying we've both had a great year, because I've had a year that's been at times the worst of my life. And I think he's had a year. He's had a fucking great year. And my goal was, although, let me rewind. We both went through some hard shit this year. He went through some serious lows, and so did I. But the way this year has turned out, based on how it began, what we would talk about in the beginning, based on my goals, based on his goals. I'm not sure he had real goals, but like social goals, but I did. And my goal was to, because me and Adam are different ages, not by a lot, but just enough where I'm in a different age category as far as dating girls go. So it was perfect because I showed up and Adam was single, right? I could go through the whole story, and eventually I will, but I'd like to do it while Adam's here, of how I showed up and like realized that there had already been a history of things happening that only I could come and show up on my first day and bring that shit to the surface, because I say inappropriate things, but I think we should sit down and do a year in review so we can talk about this. My goal was to live vicariously through Adam, because I saw the potential that this kid had that he hadn't seen in his whole life, apparently, which fucking blows my mind. I think Adam focuses on, I think we're very different people. I'm hyper focused on social dynamics and less focused on the task that I'm doing at the time. And he's focused on only the things that really matter to him at that moment. So if he's dating somebody, which he was for the first 4 or 5 years I knew him, he was completely blind to any sort of flirting or anything that was happening around him. Like, I never hear him say that, anything like that, talking about like somebody flirting with him. Although it was happening, like, a lot. I don't think he was aware of it. But this year, man, he just like hit this fucking stride. And I knew it. He's in his early 30s. He was single. He like cut his hair or something, or like just grew up. I don't know. And he got this like power position at work. And I thought, and I watched all these girls flirt with him like overtly, because he's so unaware socially and like he doesn't engage in that flirting in a way that makes the people who are flirting with him understand that he knows what's going on. He won't engage in it. So it causes girls to flirt with him in a way that I've never seen before, because they'll go way out of their way to like hint, hey, I think you're good looking, or whatever they're trying to get across, where normally they could just like subtly flirt with somebody, or even like the other extreme, not even flirt with somebody and somebody get the wrong idea. But so the way that the year he's had was, my goal was to live vicariously through him and have him like say yes to all of these advances, which I fucking pushed hard. Like, I think he had no idea what was happening around him. And so I was like validating things were happening to him, that saying, listen, man, yes, this is really real. That is really happening. That this girl is really trying to do this or that. And it was just so fucking funny to go through. And I reached my goal, he started to like hit a stride and say yes to a lot of these advances. He did spend a lot of time like kind of pursuing a love interest that was the wrong person to pursue. And in the beginning, I tried to like push him in that direction because I thought, I was coming from my place thinking that, this is the most important thing. And if you find somebody you love at work, like I could relate. So I kind of like pushed him to consider that. And he did. He like, went after that. And then eventually realized like this is a waste of time. And I could possibly be like not noticing other better options. And so I think we should have a year in review because I think, first of all, it would be hilarious. Second of all, I think where he's at now, where he's landed, the girl in this picture is, I would love to see him with this girl. Number one, she seems fucking hilarious. She seems like super funny and cool, which makes me happy because I feel like, in the future, if they're together, you always want to see your buddy with somebody that you could go hang out with and it would be fun. And she seems to be that kind of person. And number two, she's smoking hot, like clearly smoking hot. Yeah. And number three, most importantly, she makes him happy. He seems to be fucking super happy when she's around. Whereas the last two girls that he was pursuing, I think made him miserable. Who knows? So I think if we sit down, we go over the year, not only we'll laugh our ass off, and I'm sure we'll go off on these tangents that we'll probably get very distracted, but it'd be great to go over the year, and I think it would help him like realize, oh wow, this was a fucking great year, and everything that happened was meant to happen. And now I'm like hanging out with somebody that kind of like hanging out with the person I've been looking for all year, I don't know, man. Like, I think he had a great year where he got to, for the first time, utilize his fucking power he has right now over like the world in a social way, like as far as girls go. And then like the goal, I think, if you like have that ability, is to use that ability to land someone that makes you happy. And I think that's what the fuck is happening right now. It's almost like a perfect storm for him. So, yeah. And she's in the picture of this podcast. So let's just hope, fingers crossed, that we all get to sit down, have a few laughs, go over the year for him, which was, in his words, the best year for pussy, is what he said. I would never say something like that, but that's what he said. If he hears that, he's gonna freak out because that is like something he would never say. But it is pretty funny, and it's also true.